Everyone, Nate here with Simply Sharp, and we are continuing our series on knife care and maintenance. And today I want to cover knife sharpening. That's right. I'm going to show you how to sharpen your own knives. Now, certainly you can call me. Would love to sharpen your knives. But if you just prefer to do it yourself, certainly a lot of options out there to sharpen them. But before we get into the options, I just want to make the distinction between sharpening and honing. So this honing steel that we showed in a previous video, that does not sharpen a knife. It will maintain and reestablish the edge of an already sharpened knife that still has an edge. At some point, a knife no longer has an edge, and no amount of honing it is ever going to get it sharp again. It just needs to be sharpened. There is no shortage of these things that you can buy in stores and online. They almost all fall into the class of a pull-through sharpener. So it's usually just a little appliance you stick on your countertop, and then you put the knife in and you just kind of pull it through, right? They will get a knife sharp, but they tend to do a ton of damage to knives. A lot of them are just, I got these little hard metal blades in there that just scrape the edge off the knife, and you're losing a lot of knife every time you do that. It's a great way to take a slicer like this and wind up with a fillet knife. Just really pulls a lot of material off. The other is that the way you wind up using it, you wind up putting what's called a recurve. So it's like this back part of the knife will get eaten away faster than the rest of it. And then you've got this little curve in here. Now that back part of the knife doesn't make contact with your cutting board, and it's no longer really usable for a lot of your applications. So what I'm going to show you, if certainly call us. We'd love to sharpen your knives. But if you want to do it at home, this is really the only at-home sharpener that I like. And there's probably a lot of fellow knife sharpeners out there that are apoplectic that I'm even saying this, but whatever. I've used this thing for a long time. It works good. A machine like this is how I got into sharpening, because my mom bought me one, and I was really amazed at how sharp I could get my knives and what a difference it made. So the way this thing works is it's got these wheels in there that have this diamond abrasive on them, and one set of wheels will go ahead and sharpen the knife. So it's going to, basically sand the edge of the knife until you reestablish an edge. And then the other set of wheels polishes that up so you have a nice smooth edge. And so this particular model, this is a chef's choice. I think the other one out there is like a tri-razor. I think they're the same thing, just branded differently. They're not cheap. These are $100 or more. But they're the only ones that I would say work and don't do more harm than good. The way you would use them is a lot of them come with a slot for Asian style knives, for European style knives. In an earlier video, we talked a little bit about that, but your Asian style knives tend to be at 15 degrees per side. Your European style knives tend to be at 20. But you'll note, if you watch that earlier video, that things like your Wustavs and Hinkels and Zwillings and whatnot, they are not at 20. They're at 14, sometimes 15. So you're going to want to use the Asian side for that. Otherwise, you're just making that knife less sharp. So the way to do it, turn it on, and what they want you to do is just I'm not really putting any pressure, and I'm just kind of setting the knife in there, and you're just going to pull it through some number of times. Like, they will generally recommend do it at like 3 or 4 times. But eventually, on the opposite side of the last side you did it. So if this is the last side that I did right here, I should start to feel a burr on the other side. When you feel that little burr grabbing your fingertips or your fingerprints, that's when you know that you finished that step, and you can move on to the next step, which is just polishing. So there's a pretty fine little wheel in there that's really just kind of polishing up the edge. And again, you might want to do this, I don't know, 5 or 6 times per side. That's going to take any of that burr off and just kind of polish it up, and that's it. That's how you can sharpen a knife at home. If you don't want to do that, give us a call. We come straight to your home and sharpen in your driveway. You can book us online at simplysharpatl.com, or you can call us at 404-969-5475. We'd love to come out. If you don't want to do a whole drawer of knives yourself, we'll do it for you in about a half hour or so, right from the convenience of your own home. Thank you.